Buongiorno everyone, welcome to the Magpie Channel TV for the match preview for Saturday night's game, Newcastle United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. 8 o'clock kickoff at St James's live on BT Sport. And as always, we're joined by our favourite Wolves fan from Talking Wolves. We've got Matt Cooper. How are you doing, bro?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. How are you? You keeping well?
Yeah, not a problem, mate. Yeah. Holding down the fort while Big Renty's away enjoying himself.
He's away pretending to be an influencer, and that's where he's going to Dubai. Bless him.
I know. We're all just jealous. We're all just jealous if you're watching Big Renty. I love you, but we don't like you at the minute. Yeah. So we're just talking about Wolves first. Last time we spoke to you, it was October ahead of the game at the Molineux, which ended up 1-1. Jacob Murphy's late equaliser tying things up there. And you spoke about poor form earlier in the season, a lot of inconsistencies, and it's where we're now. We're like end of February, and it's been pretty similar, hasn't it? I think your season's been consistently inconsistent.
Oh, you could say that. You know what? The last 4 games haven't been too bad, but taking that away from it, it's been absolutely dreadful. It's been so bad, and like obviously the Jimenez injury didn't help. But we weren't playing very well when we had Jimenez at the start of the season. But him being out of the team is a massive blow. But it's been really, really poor. Like I said, apart from the last 4 games, I can't remember the last time I watched Wolves play where I enjoyed watching us play. Saying that, the last 4 games we've got 10 points out of the last 12. I think that kind of masks over the cracks somewhat. Like we haven't been playing fantastically well, but you don't tend to mind when you're picking up results, which was my issue. We were playing poorly and not getting results, so that's when there was a problem. Now we're playing okay, but getting results. You can kind of look past it a little bit, but I still don't think we've turned a corner fully yet. I think if we get 3 points at your place and then maybe pick a point up against Villa in the next game or next 2 games, then maybe we've turned the corner, but I think it's too soon to say.
Yeah, like you were on quite a bad run of form, and obviously we haven't been great either lately. So we were looking at Wolves coming up and kind of licking our lips thinking, oh, that might be a good opportunity to get 3 points off what has previously been a very good Wolves side. But I say the last few games, you've got a win against Arsenal, a draw against Leicester, and wins against Southampton and Leeds. So 4 games unbeaten just in time to play us. So yeah, you've hit form just at the right time.
That Arsenal game, it was like I think anyone would have beat Arsenal when they went down to 9 men, because they should have been 4. They should have been 4 or 5 up in like 20 minutes against us, and then they had the 2 sending offs, and it swung in our favour. The Leicester game, fair result, could have beat them. Southampton game, first half, absolutely dreadful. Probably the worst half I've seen all season. Second half, it's like a different team. We pressed them like really aggressively from the front, and we played them at their own game, and then we did the same. We did the same with Leeds, and it's like this is what frustrates me so much with like Nuno and Wolves. Like we've got the players to hurt teams. We've got such an array of attacking options, and obviously Jimenez is injured. But when you've got people like Adama and Neto and Semedo and now Johnny, like they're absolutely unbelievable. Yet we still play within ourselves. So the last 2 games we've actually gone for it, and lo and behold, we've won both fucking games. It's almost as if, like, just have a go at teams. You might win a game.
Well, that's like us. That's exactly like Steve Bruce. Like, we know we have the players available to attack teams, but for the last 18 months or so, we've been playing 5 at the back. We've been playing Almiron, for example, out of position. And since Graham Jones came in, opened it up a little bit, 4-3-3, players playing in a right formation. And we'll beat Everton 2-0. We beat Southampton. We played well against Crystal Palace. It's like, why play so fucking defensively? Why play within yourself, like you say? Just fucking go for games. You're not, like, very rarely you win games by just sitting off, letting people attack you. Just fucking go for it, man. Like, it's football,
it is like the past couple of games we haven't, but it's almost like we set up not to get beat rather than to win a game. And that's like. Yeah. So it's crap to watch. It is when we've got like such an array, like you guys have got like attacking options. Like I think Neto is probably one of the best wide players in the league. Full stop. No matter of his age, full stop. He's unbelievable. But when you're asking him to defend first rather than attack, it's like It just doesn't make sense. But the handbrake's been taken off somewhat the past couple of games, and it's left me feeling a little bit more positive about the rest of the season and moving into next season. I'm still of the opinion, because I was Nuno out come January. I'd lost my head. We lost to the Albion, and I said he's got to go. Now I'm at the point where if we've got we picked up 10 from the last 12 points. If we beat you lot and then forget Man City result and then get something at Villa, for me, I am back towards Nuno in as long as we finish the season strongly. I think if we revert back to type and play within ourselves and look just dodgy defensively and not much going forward, then I would change it in the summer. But listen, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Nuno's proved you wrong. You don't know what you're on about." And I'll happily hold my hand up and say I was wrong if it means Wolverhampton Wanderers are winning football matches. That's what means more to me. But it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park as some of our fans are thinking it, because we've won the last two. It's like, oh yeah, Newcastle are shit. It's like, but so are we. We're just not as shit as we have been.
Like, since you've been promoted, like, Wolves kind of came out of nowhere and you were straight at like the top of the league. So we're used to Wolves being around about the top almost 6 club, around about Europa League spot. But this season, as you say, it hasn't been great. You're currently in 12th on 33 points. In decent form now. If you keep finishing the season strongly, as you say, where do you think Wolves can finish? Can you break that top 10?
Oh yeah, I think we'll finish in the top half. If we carry on strong, if we set up and play with the philosophy that we have the last 2 games, we'll win more games than we lose, or we'll win, or we won't be drawing as many. We're only 2 points off our tally last season, which is you think, fucking hell, like, we've been terrible, yet we're only 2 points off. But to caveat that, we were also in the Europa League last season, playing 300,000 games. So it's a bit of a difficult one. I honestly, with the state of the league it's in now, which is a terrible, terrible league at the minute, apart from City, I would not be surprised if we finished top 7 and got Europa League. I wouldn't, honestly.
It could be, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I think the Jimenez injury adjusted the board's expectations somewhat. They were happy with, once Jimenez had been injured, he scored like 40% of our goals last season. Mid to top of the table, mid-table, top half was their expectation. So I still think that is the goal. And I think if we've got a handsome run of fixtures coming up. There's no reason why we can't still finish in the top half. And like I said, I won't be surprised if we finish top 7. It's that kind of season, mate. It's been terrible. Like, I feel so detached from football. Yeah. Like, usually, taking the Albion game out of the equation, I am like, if Wolves lose, I'm so pissed off for the whole weekend. I'm just an angry bloke. I'm horrible to be around. But now if we lose, it's like, all right, sound, I'll make a cup of tea, I'm over it. Because I can't go, I just feel so detached from it.
Yeah. We were almost the same. I think we were going down that route where we just expect to lose. But now, like, then we're kind of like hovering between like 13th and 15th. But now when we lose and we're getting suckered closer into that relegation battle, the rage starts. Like, everyone's... I just wish we were in stadium so we could throw cabbages off Steve Bruce's head.
I think that's a saving grace for a lot of clubs, though. Like,
yeah,
I see Wolves fans saying it'd be a different season if we could get in the ground and cheer them on. I was like, it's a saving grace that we're not in the ground, because we were and we're playing like we had. They've been sacked by now, and I think that's the case for a lot of teams, like Haas and Hootel, who I still think is a good coach, but obviously form suggests otherwise. Yeah. Bruce as well. Like, I think these would have already had the chop if the pressure of the fans were in the stadium. So they can probably thank the lucky stars for the pandemic.
I know, can't wait till fans get back. But yeah, so if you beat us on Saturday, if you beat us on Saturday, that'll be your first 3 wins in a row for the first time this season. Were you aware of that stat?
No, but I'm not shocked, because it's just been, like I say, it's been poor. I can't see us beating you though. Like, it's not going to be an easy game. I don't think any game is in the league, but I think with the kind of the injuries that you've got, and I know we've got Podence out, we've got Bolly out, we've got Jimenez out, I still think we've probably got enough to beat you if we play the way we have the past 2 games. If we sit and try and contain and just play negative defensive football, then I could see it going either way. But I worry about you, like I do. I really worry about you. I think if Fulham continue to pick points up, you could be sucked in, man. It's it's a bit of a nervy finish to the season for you. I know you want you want something to play for still at the end of the season, but not towards the bottom of the league, do you?
No, exactly. Like, where do you think Newcastle can finish? Do you think we will get relegated, or like we've still got most of the bottom teams to play? We've got the 3 bottom teams to play, and I think we've still got Brighton and Burnley as well. So there's points to be had, but we've also got the likes of City, Liverpool, and Arsenal is coming up.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United have gone. I think the Albion are. They're looking a little bit better, but I think it's too little, too late. I think the only one you've really got to worry about is Fulham. Mm-hmm. And even then, they didn't have a great start. So I think you're lucky that there's been 3 very, very poor teams below. But it only takes one of them to pick a bit of form up and a bit of belief, like Fulham have done. They've got some good results recently before you start looking over your shoulder. But I think I do worry about you. But I think you should be all right. Not because you're any good, just because you're 3 teams.
That's what I've been fearing. Like I always say, like you shouldn't worry about who's behind you. You shouldn't have to look over your shoulders. Win your own games. Just look ahead at your own fixtures and win games. Get the points that you need, and do it on your own terms. You shouldn't have to worry about there being 3 worse teams. But at the minute, that's literally what we're hoping for, because we're only 3 points above the relegation zone, and I think Fulham play on Friday night. And they've got a better goal difference than us. So if they win on Friday night, at least until we can maybe get a point against you, we'll be in the bottom 3 come Saturday.
It's mental, mate. I can't. I know it all, but you lot absolutely hate Steve Bruce. I was saying to you earlier, like with Talking Wolves, like our official account, it's pretty much like middle of the road. It's like we just report on what's out there, and I'm probably the most controversial one out of Dave and I. Whereas I look at yours, it's like Steve Bruce fucking off. He's got to go. Like it makes me cry. Like just don't care. But I think when like fan channels are putting the cock on the block like that, when it's like the majority of fans agree with it. Mm-hmm. I have to tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Steve Bruce with fans inside the stadium. Fuck me.
Oh, I cannot wait. Honestly, I'm licking my lips at that thought. Now, what's your thought on Steve Bruce? What's your general consensus on Newcastle at the minute?
I didn't like Bruce when he was at Villa, because he made a load of comments about when Villa and Wolves in the Championship the season we went up. It was he'd ask questions and he'd answer it about Wolves, saying all these young Portuguese players. Let's see how they do in the winter. And then I think January and February didn't lose a game. And he was just obsessed with George Mendes and look at the cash we've spent. It's like, Steve, mate, just concentrate on your own team. But
he still does that now. He always deflects questions.
The thing is, though, I think whilst there's no fans in the stadium, he's almost like a yes man, and it doesn't probably cause Mike Ashley any problems. So that's probably why he's still in the job. And it's sort of jobs for the boys, isn't it? I look, as a coach or as a manager, I don't really have any opinions on him. He's part of the old guard and managerial merry-go-round, but he always seems to land a job somewhere with a Championship or lower league, lower regions of the Prem. So he can't be that bad, can he? Like, he can't be that bad. I know Simon Jordan, the old Palace chairman. Yeah. He swears by him as like one of the best managers he's ever had, and like interviewed him, like trust him with everything. But
there's a handful of them guys out there just proper suck Steve Bruce off, and even Mike Ashley and that. And now, like I swear they're just on the payroll. Like they're probably just mates with him, so they wouldn't dare slander him like on the radio or on TV.
When you were doing like all right with Bruce, and it's like I was thinking like, what are they moaning about? Like they're getting results, but like no, you're not. It's I don't like whether you think Newcastle United are a massive club. Like it's one of those that divides opinions. But whether you think that or not, they shouldn't be like fighting relegation every season. You expect them to be like, it sounds mad, but like a Wolves, like top half, like trying to crack Europe.
Yeah, but that's all we hope for. I know we get a lot of people thinking that we're disillusioned or that we want to like win Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and stuff. Like from even like back in like the Kevin Keegan era, we never won out, but just to be back up there, just challenging, like getting into the Europa League, like in the top 6, that'll be fucking wicked compared to where we are now.
Yeah, like when we went away last year in the Europa League, like it was always a dream of mine to just go and watch Wolves in Europe, and to finally like do that with my mates and go to Portugal and Barcelona, and it's like I'll never ever forget that. So I can see why so many like fans just want to get into that top 7, especially at our age now, where you haven't got that many. Well,
because the last time we were there was like the early 2000s, like 03 or 04.
Yeah.
So like I was too young. Like I've never seen Newcastle away, and I'm nearly fucking 30 years old. You know what I mean? Like I want to go away. Like,
yeah, it's brilliant, mate. And if you ever do it, like as I know you will, like get away, get abroad. Even if you're not going to the games, do it. But that's what you expect, and it's the same with Wolves. I think our expectations have been slightly altered just because of the 2 seasons we've had, but we want to be competing. We want to get top 7. We want to get into Europe, and because how do you attract the better players on the continent if you're a Crystal Palace? Like you know you're never going to go down. You never know you're never going to crack top 7. So it's a difficult one, and I think Newcastle United are in great danger of being another Crystal Palace.
Yeah. That's been the fear. That's why we are so desperate for a takeover, because we are just going down and down and down. And like that is the general fear. Like we don't want to end up like a Sunderland. It's like we've been down twice in the past.
Yeah,
I feel like if we go down a third time, I know this is like a kind of a general feeling among Newcastle fans. Like if we go down a third time, we might not be lucky enough to get back up. But it could be like another case like Villa. Like Villa went down and it took them 4 or 5 years to get back up. Like that's where we could be headed, especially if Steve Bruce keeps his job.
Everyone says the Championship's the hardest league in the world to get out of, but when we got relegated from the Prem, we got out of it straight away, mate. Straight down to League One. Piece of piss.
You're not the only one. The fellas down the road in red and white, they did the same.
Tell you what, League One season was on a par with like last season going to Europe, because you just know we'd just go to like Crawley and just steamroll teams. It was class. But I think when you go down in the manner that like Newcastle will go down in, like going down in flames, with like all the fans wanting Bruce out, and I think that's when you struggle to have that bounce back ability. But fingers crossed for you, like that. As long as the Albion go down, mate, I'm happy. As long as West Ham go down,
I think they will. I think Big Sam's definitely taking them down.
I hope so. I really hope so.
But more into the game, I was looking at our recent games, and since you got promoted in 2018, you won the first fixture back with a 2-1 win. But since then, we've had 4 1-1s.
Yeah.
Haven't really been great spectacles, have we? There's been 1 or 2 bits of late drama, but ultimately 1-1 kind of boring games. How do you see this one going?
I was disappointed we lost the game at Molineux this season. I didn't think it was a free kick on Callum Wilson. He'd bought that, which was clever play, a bit naive from Kodo. And then I think it's poor keeping from Patricio at his near post. But I can see it going either way, mate. Like I said, if we play the way we have the last 2 games, I think we'll beat you. But if we shit ourselves again and like just try and contain and step it up after 70 minutes, and then potentially I can see a draw or you beating us. But who's out for you a lot at the minute? I know Wilson's crocked, isn't he?
Yeah, Wilson's out with Javier Manquillo and Fabian Schär. I think that's pretty much it. We've got Federico Fernandez, who may be back. He's been out for the past few weeks, so he's fit again now. Whether he plays or not, we're not too sure. So we've got Kieran Clark, Jamal Lascelles, and potentially Federico Fernandez back in defence. And it might be the return of Martin Dubravka. That's been circulating today. A lot of media outlets are saying that Dubravka might be brought back for the first time this season.
Why bringing him back? Because I know Darlow's been all right, hasn't he?
He's been good, mate. Like, it's not anything against Darlow. He doesn't deserve dropped, but we're in this relegation battle now, and Dubravka is just that little bit higher quality, and especially with the relegation battle. And like Dubravka's been back for a good few weeks now. Maybe he's a month and a half. He's been back sitting on the bench, and I think since then, I think Darlow, particularly in the first couple of games, I think he's been looking over his shoulder. He hasn't really made any mistakes, but he's just been a little bit sloppier. I think he's too focused on trying to keep his place that he's just making like tiny little errors. Yeah. So I think especially with the relegation battle, you need to have your best players available.
From my judgment of him,
definitely is back.
He seems like quite a good shot stopper, but in terms of like
delivery.
As a leader, and like he's not a loud goalkeeper. He doesn't command his area that well compared to Dubravka. So when you're in, you're in the trenches, you need people to stand up and be counted, don't you? And bollock his back 4-5. Yeah. I don't really see Darlow doing that. So that's
Dubravka's definitely better in that aspect.
Yeah, bit harsh, like, but if it's a decision that keeps you up, then so be it. But I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Do you think you'll sit up and just kind of like try and contain us, or do you think you'll go for it?
I think we'll go for it. Like, since Graham Jones has came in, we've been playing a 4-3-3, a lot better style, minus the last two. So since Graham Jones came in, first game beat Everton 2-0 away, got beat 2-1 off Crystal Palace, but were actually outstanding that game. It's probably the best game we've played all season. We're absolutely dominated in terms of possession and chances for the first time, probably in Bruce's reign, but didn't get the results. We beat Southampton 3-2 with 9 men.
Yeah.
And then tough games against Chelsea away and Man United away where we don't have good records. So hopefully, like, Wolves, good team, but you're 12th. You're not Man United. You're not Man City. So we should just go for it. Like, I know we're Wilson out. So, yeah, fucking go for it. I don't want... We're sat a bit too defensively, despite playing the right formation against Chelsea and Man United. But I think Wolves it is different. Like, obviously, no disrespect, but they're in the similar kind of position to where Palace and Southampton are. So we've got to go for it. Like, we're on the relegation brink now. We can't be sitting off. I'd probably take another 1-1. Like, as long as we get the points. The Albion is our next game. That's a must win. So if we get 1 off Wolves, 3 off West Brom, 4 points in the next 2 games, I'll be over the moon with that.
I think how many points do you reckon you need to be safe?
I honestly don't know, mate. 38, maybe.
How many points are on now?
25, I think. Fucking hell, you're asking too many questions, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah, we should know these answers. 25. You're on 25.
You probably need another 3 or 4 wins, don't you, to be safe?
I hope so. Like I say, we've still got the bottom 3, Sheffield, Albion and Fulham, as well as a couple of those, Brighton and Burnley, I think. So I think we can do it, but we are just looking over our shoulder at Fulham. They're the main concern. Like, we can win our games, but like, it's the last game of the season. We're playing away to Fulham. That could be the decider.
Nah, I think it'll be wrapped up by then, mate.
I hope so.
I think you'll be all right. I think it's a little too late for Fulham, but it's mad. Anything could happen. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you went on a run and got like top 10. It's just that shit of a season, and that's what annoys me so much with Wolves. It's like we had a really good opportunity in the summer. We've had really poor recruitment for the past 2 or 3 windows. This season was an opportunity to break that top 6, 2 consecutive top 7 finishes. Chelsea were a different team under Lampard. Man United weren't the same team. You know, you got teams like Everton strengthening around us. This was a season where we could have given it a good go. And looking at the table now, I was right, and that's what makes it so frustrating. It does feel like such a wasted opportunity for us.
Back to the last game, 1-1. Jimenez got the goal. Obviously, took a major injury shortly after that.
Yeah.
How have you been coping without him? Have you been missing him? Obviously, he's scored about 40% of your goals last season, so he's a huge miss.
I miss him, and I think he's one of those strikers that gets into most teams in the world. He's just that good. He's got everything. He's a massive blow, but we've brought the lad Fabio Silva for 35 million. The price tag is extremely inflated. It's a George Mendes brown paper deal, but I really like him. I think the lad doesn't shy away from anything. A lot of Wolves fans they go in on him, and he's an 18-year-old lad. It's unbelievable the amount of stick he gets. He's missed a few chances, but he's 18. Like, the amount of pressure that's on him to go and step up and fill Jimenez's shoes it's massive on him. But I really like him. I think in the future he's going to be a massive talent for us. But we brought in Willian Jose from Sociedad, who's done okay. He doesn't look that much of a goal threat, but what he does offer is a link between the midfield and the wide players. Yeah. And the past couple of games, we've switched Neto onto the right and Traore onto the left, which means that our inside forward/wingers are now coming inside, which brings them closer to Jose. And they've been doing a lot of 1-2 link up, and Jose's been pulling centre halves out of positions for spacing behind, and it's working quite well. But the return of Johnny Otto at left wing back has made us look a completely different team. He's a brilliant player, and we've missed him so much. And since he's come back, we've looked a lot stronger. And since we've swapped the wingers over, Semedo's been playing really well as well. Like, he's essentially another winger for us. So it's we have missed Jimenez, but the Jimenez going isn't the main reason why we've been so poor. It's purely philosophical and the way we set up.
Yeah, like without Jimenez, one of the other key players who has had a great season is Pedro Neto. He's been outstanding for you this season, hasn't he?
What a player!
I thought without Jota, you might struggle, but he's pretty much filled that role pretty well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's already eclipsed what Jota did last season in terms of like goals and assists, and still such a young player. He's going to the top, mate, and I don't think it's going to be with Wolves. And I kind of resign myself to the fact, like he's got Barcelona written all over him. He's that good.
Yeah.
20 years old, absolutely lightning quick. Can hit
Still
the ball.
20, fucking hell.
Yeah, hits the ball as hard as anyone I've seen. He goes past players that they're not even there. He's very, very good. He's still a little bit raw. And he's not the finished article, but
he's 20, innit?
Yeah, to pick him up for like 16 million, 17 million. I know our recruitment's been poor, but he's been one of the hidden gems we've got. But I think he's exceptional, and when he's on form, that's when we play our best stuff. It's all we're kind of dependent on him or Traore to have a blinder. But yeah, he's an exceptional talent, such a good player.
For Saturday's game, can I get a lineup prediction from you?
Yes, mate. I can probably tell you already what it is anyway. It'll be Patricio in goal, and then they'll play a back five with Johnny Otto at left wing back. They'll play Roman Saiz at left centre half, Connor Cody as a sweeper. Right centre back will be Leander Dendoncker. Right wing back will be Semedo. Two holding midfielders will be Neves and Moutinho, and the front three will be Adama, Jose, and Neto. I don't think we've got Podence back yet. He's still injured, so it's our game changers will be on the pitch. We haven't got anyone really who can come off the bench apart from Silva after Jose's knackered. Yeah. It'll just be that's probably what I'd say. It's probably our strongest team at the minute, considering the injuries we've got. But if Neto and Adama play the way they have the past couple of games, then I think we should win the game. But if those two aren't on song, then we're toothless.
Who else was out? You said Podence, Bowley.
Yeah, Podence, Bowley's out, and Jimenez. I think Marcel's out, left wing back, but Johnny plays there anyway. I think there's those four that are out. Marcel, bless him. I mean, he's come back from injury 4 times this season, and after playing 20 minutes, he's gone off. I'm convinced at this point he's made out of poppadoms. I do feel sorry for the bloke, but he's been all right as well. It's a shame, but yeah, it's Marcel, Podence, Bolly, and Jimenez that are out. But apart from that, we still got a good 11. Yeah,
it's a solid 11 to be fair. Yeah, and we're talking about results. 4-1-1s in the last few games. You say it could go either way. Can I push you for a score prediction?
Yeah, I'll never go against Wolves. I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. And I think that we might see a Neto goal. And I think we may even see a Neves goal. But I'm going to go Neves penalty. That's what I'm going to go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, penalty. That's if anyone puts some money on that and wins.
Predicting the scorers as well. I like it.
Yeah. Do you want the over shots on target as well and corners? Because I can do them.
Can do if you want, mate. I'll see what the odds are. 14 corners out there is.
Everyone will be lumping on and then moaning at me when it hasn't come in.
All right, cheers, Matt. Appreciate it as always. We'll call that a day, and we'll hopefully see you on Saturday. We'll try and get you on after the game if you're available.
Yeah, mate. Just let me know, and I'll come on. But yeah, up the Wolves, and I hope we get the win.
So do we, mate. Honestly, we need it more than you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. The link for Talking Wolves will be in the description below, as always, and come back for Saturday's match day content. Live watch along, player ratings, and match reaction. Where Big Renty should be back for the watch along. Think he's a little bit more settled in Dubai now. Better Wi-Fi connection, probably better than mine. So yeah, come back on Saturday and we'll see you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're only 160 subscribers away from the big 10K. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and enjoy yourself.